Hello YouTubers, it's been a minute since I made a video. I think the last one I did was when my son and I went to Washington DC. In any case, I'm really a bit taken aback by the topic which I'm going to discuss. Um, and I'm also intrigued because it's a topic I've never personally experienced. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Well, let's get to it. I have a neighbor next door, young woman. She's 35 years old. She's nice looking, really nice looking. Um, she's a nurse. And she works for one of the top hospitals in New York City. And she got involved with this dusty, crusty, disgusting individual next door, neighbor. He's nothing but a filthy little drug dealer, possibly a part-time pimp. And that's what she's attached her star to. Now, she's been dealing with that guy for the better part of probably 2 years. And he's cheated on her, lied, cheated some more. He's even beaten her ass. And she's still with the guy. And I'm like, really? And then she's now found herself in a situation where she's living with her mother because it's her mother's apartment and her two younger siblings. The older boy is living with his girlfriend or whatever. And I just can't fathom how somebody can be 34 years old, is in a profession where there are countless people who relies on her for their care every day. And she's an emotional wreck over a toxic relationship. I actually shudder to think how she's functioning at work when she goes in 5 to 6 days a week after she's been crazed mentally in her soul because of that type of relationship. And I know people may find it impossible to believe, but if people remain in toxic relationship, eventually it can destroy their lives. They can waste decades of their life in toxic relationships because it becomes normal for them. They normalize it or believe that's what they deserve. And what's sad is that no matter what's done or said to those type of people, they continue to remain in those toxic situations. And I refuse to believe that they don't realize that it's toxic. There has to be at some point people realize that those relationships that they're in that's terrible are just that. That there isn't any amount of love or understanding or patience that's going to change somebody that's a walking devil. Because the fact is, broken people want to break other people. Because that's how they exist in this world. Like, for instance, I did a video, I believe, on homosexuals. Homosexuals are broken people. So they seek out other people that they can break. And then they move on to somebody else that they can break, and so forth and so on. And, you know, prior to the pandemic, the affirmation that I just mentioned would hang out in the clubs. Now they hang out in the gym. That's become their new venues. They're always in the gyms, you know. And I digressed a bit. However, the fact of the matter is that this individual that this woman is involved with is a homosexual. And she's 35 years old, and she acts like she's 12 going on 35. She's a nurse, so I'm thinking she's making really good money. So why is she with this guy? I mean, the sex must be off the roof. I mean, over the top. So she's sexually attached to him, and she's mentally attached to him in her soul. And in her heart, because she probably believes that she loves him. But love does not mean that you allow somebody to abuse you, mentally, physically, or any other way in your life. She's already now wasted 2+ years of her life on that guy. Because now she's 35. I expect this year sometime she's going to be 36. I mean, what is this thing with this struggle love? You know, it's called struggle love. There isn't no such thing. What it is that people have allowed themselves to fall into hell in their so-called in their so-called relationships with these disgusting hobo niggas that are no good. And that will never be any good, because you cannot change people. You cannot bend a tree when it's fully grown. If people change, it's because they make a change. They say, this is wrong, this is right. Let me change my wrong ways. You know, let me apologize by working for forgiveness, for repentance, to be a better person. But for anyone in their right mind thinking that love is going to change somebody, you know, there must be smoking goo-goo dust. Because you don't have power over anybody to change when they are a devil, unless they want to change. Love, respect, kindness, you know, it has to be earned. And if the person on the other side that's being a demon has not earned it, or has done nothing to earn it, why are you with them? That's what one has to ask themselves. Why are they with that person? Well, when my mother used to say, you know, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So what I've learned in life is that whatever one's profession, that's what they do, to take care of themselves financially. That's not who they are. That's just their profession. So if they're involved with toxic, hobo, filthy people, maybe that's who they are deep down. Because that's what they wanted in their life. That's what they chose to get involved with. And that's what they chose to be attracted to from the beginning. You know, in the beginning I felt a little bad for her, but now I'm like, I've lost respect for her. Because, and anybody that chooses that, because the thing is, you know it's bad. Why are you there? Why are you there? Why are you caught up in that sickness? You know, it's diseased. So why be caught up in a diseased situation that can only net terrible consequences? Wasted years of one's life. And for what? You know, nothing. Because at the end of the day and the beginning of the evening, there's nothing that's going to be netted from those toxic relationships. I'm really, for lack of a better word, I shouldn't even say relationships, because that's not a relationship, you know. And this video is targeted towards black women specifically. Black women have to stop dropping their drawers for these toxic black men that's not going to do anything that's positive in their life. The guy is a dusty, crusty, hobosexual predator whose only aim in life is to get what he needs to get for himself and move on. But in the midst of all that, he brings destruction into black women's lives. And I've seen it happen countless times. It happened with my beautiful niece. And then she became hooked on drugs. Now she's, 28? And nothing. She has nothing to show. She's still angry after about, I think it's been 5 years now, and bitter. You know, it's really sad that black women allow themselves to be caught up in trash. You know, because that's all it is, trash. You know, and the fact is, you know, you can't get your youth back. When you begin pushing 40, 50, it's a wrap. You cannot get those years of your late teens, your 20s, your 30s. You've pissed it away on no good men. And then suppose you have children for those no good men. And your children and you will be caught up in a cycle of poverty. And those children, what of their lives? It's really sad. It's really sad. And unfortunately, many of these women don't seem to realize that until they are well into their 40s and 50s, after they've wasted 10, 20, 30, decades of their life on trash. And the sad part is, those men aren't in their lives anymore, because those men have leveled up. And it's really, really, really sad. One can only wonder, will these women ever extricate themselves from trash and cease going into, choosing one trash bag after another trash bag after another trash bag, because that's what they're doing. In any case, have a nice day all, and like and subscribe.